समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so verse 23 this time. तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगं लभते पौर्वदेहिकं यत् ते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन. It says, there he comes to be united with the knowledge acquired in his former body and strives more than before for perfection, O son of the Kurus. Now see, the important thing in this verse, the important word is Paurvadehikam. Paurvadehikam means the body in the past lives. The bodies that you have been having in the past lives, they are Paurvadehikam. Dehikam. Now, it is, see, physical death is not a zero. According to Hinduism and according to Vedanta, physical death is not a zero. And it has thought about it many, many times that if this birth is the result of something, then the result of what? It has to be the result of your past. And that is for everything in the world, that what is the past translates as the present translates as the future. So this is a complete thing. It is a transfer point from one body to another body. It is an evolutionary march. Now, in an evolutionary march or in a transfer, as we did previously, transfer can only be, as I said, an engineer can only go as an engineer. He cannot go as a doctor. A singer cannot go as a fast-paced bowler in cricket. A batsman in cricket cannot be a sitar player. So it is just that what you are good at, what you have been doing, what you feel like doing, that is the kind of next body that your mind and intellect demands. So when your mind and intellect demands that kind of body, you get that kind of body and mind and intellect. Because the knowledge gathered in the past reconnects with the future body, future mind and intellect that you get. The knowledge that you have accumulated in the past gets transferred as it is to the next body. Also, it keeps lying dormant, maybe in your childhood, and then slowly and suddenly, when you see the correct situation, then it suddenly comes back because it is already there. It is already there, digested with you. So when in the next life, when you meet that kind of knowledge, or when you meet a master who's telling you what you already know, so it immediately comes back to you like a bang, it comes back, like a shock, it comes back. And also understand, reaching a master is not the good fortune of everybody. It is really not. Only when you have a nice build up in the past that you do require a master to guide you in this life, do you near a master. Otherwise, it isn't your due that you will get a good master, and you continue living the sensuous life of eat, sleep, and eat and sleep, and one day die, that kind of a thing. Breed, maximum breed, achieve one or two things in life, and then go your way. So, in your next life, you are naturally drawn to it. You must have noticed how come that everybody is not drawn to this. Masters are speaking. Now, when Swami Chinmayanand used to speak, there used to be thousands of people listening, right? But some were affected so strongly that their whole lives changed. Suddenly, it took a U turn. Huh? And there were others who just listened and listened and listened and then never came back again, ever even to hear. So, what is that? It is only that only those that are ready to evolve, those are the only people who get this kind of opportunity to evolve. So, no life is a restart, it's not a restart, it is a continuation of the past. It's not a complete break from the past. It cannot be a break from the past. It's an accumulated effect of past lives, and that is called Purva Dehikam. Say, wo Purvabhyas. Purvabhyas means the knowledge gathered in the past that again reawakens in your next birth. And in spite of yourself, you are drawn to it. In spite of yourself, you are drawn to it. Gurudev used to give the example of a South Indian typist. Very fond of giving examples from South India. He used to say that they are very good at climbing government ladders. So they join as a typist in a ministry, but he's so good with his work, and he's also so good with yes sir, yes sir, and yes sir, that he keeps getting his promotions, and gradually he becomes an undersecretary in a ministry. Now that undersecretary has got a typist and he dictates to his typist, right? But then one day he says, let me see if I can type or not. Now for years he has not typed, so he has quite forgotten typing. But in his new avatar as undersecretary, when he begins to type on the typewriter, slowly his fingers move faster and faster and faster till he picks up, suddenly he picks up his old expertise in typing. And he is typing very fast. So, from where did that skill come? From the past. The skill came from the past. Another example he used to give is of a young girl who used to sing classical music before she got married, and she was a very good singer, everyday riyas and everyday singing and all that. But when she got married, and of course married and went to America, there she was got so busy with her housework, she had no leisure. She was bringing up children, doing a job, looking after the house, all the rest of it. So she forgot her singing. Once the nest became empty, the children went to their universities or got married and settled or whatever it was, and she and her husband were alone. She picked up her old tanbura, dusted it and all that, and tried her voice again. So initially she could not, she faltered a bit, made a few mistakes, and then slowly, mellifluously, she is singing beautifully again. Past abhyas, this is that purva abhyas. And therefore, you get born into a family which will help further your sadhana. There are some families in which there is no sadhana done by anybody. So, how do the children get attracted to it? They don't. And that is why a yoga brashta person goes to a family where this is practiced. People meditate, there are satsangs, there are kirtans, there is arti, there is something, some old grandmother is doing it, or some uncle aunt does it, or the father mother do it, or not. And so, so this is connecting to your old knowledge. And he calls him Kurunandana over here. Huh? Because Kurus is a noble family where Arjun is born. And being born in that family, he has to continue his sadhana. Now, also, just dekho, the kind of student you are, Gurudev always used to say, you merit that kind of a teacher who will help you uplift yourself in your present position. So, can you imagine what a great Punyatma Arjun must have been? That he demanded the Lord himself to come down to the earth, take an avatar to teach him. Krishna was his teacher. Now, for Krishna to be the teacher, definitely, Arjuna must have been a great, I mean, he must have had a great store of knowledge in the past, which needed to be brushed up, which needed to be updated, which needed to be applied to his present situations in life, which the Lord himself came down to do. So you can imagine, and that is why he calls him Kurunandana in this second line. See, he says yatate cha tato bhuya sansiddho kurunandana. Sansiddho, that means you will strive more and more for perfection. Siddh means perfect. So in this, the next life, if you have done things in the past life, in this life you will strive more and more, spend more and more of time and energy in perfecting yourself. You will not waste that time and energy in things outside in the world. And so your present situation, your present position from purva abhyas will make you lean towards your true nature. It will come automatically. Nobody has to really push you to it. You are not forced into spirituality. Nobody can be forced into spirituality. Haven't you seen daughters in law sometimes getting married into a household where there is nobody is into spirituality? है ना? And they are being forced into the world of uh, the objects. Come on, let's have lunch here, dinner there, do this, do that, do that. Let's go on a trip, falana trip. But nobody does spirituality. Now, see, she is not able to force her family into spirituality. She can't force them into spirituality. But the very fact that she is married into that family, there must be some punya karmas of that family. Because you will notice that slowly, many times it has happened. And slowly, that girl's whole family begins to understand the logic of spirituality. Slowly, the husband changes, the children change because mother's influence. So it is not that you are naturally pulled towards it. Slowly, some chance happening will take place which will immediately make your mind turn. Sometimes it's a tragic happening. As Gurudev used to say, that many people are kicked into spirituality. So, kicked into spirituality when something really bad happens, then they think, why has this happened to me? Then that why comes. Before that, they were not even thinking. They were not even questioning the happenings in their lives. They were not questioning their birth. They were not questioning anything that happened to them. Just living, eating, sleeping, living, breeding, getting disease and dying. That's the story. That's the life story of millions and millions of people, right? So here sometimes things happen as if by chance. Chance में क्या आता है? Either a tragic event, or sometimes you go to pick up a friend, or you go to pick up. Many people have changed like this also. I know that they went to pick up their mother whom they had dropped for satsang. They reached a little early, so they thought, come on, let me sit and listen to the Swami. What is he saying? Let me hear. So once they hear, after that day, next day they came, okay, let me sit through the lecture. After that, they never went back. They just are pulled into spirituality because of their past. I know many such. I know people who have been recording the talks. वो record करते करते they changed, their whole life changed. It is a U-turn and it happens helplessly. You cannot stop it because of your past. It happens, it comes naturally to you. It comes very, very naturally. It starts happening so naturally that the continuity of your past comes to the forefront in this life. And you slowly start meeting those kind of people who have your bent of mind. Gurudev used to say that your drawing room friends will change, which is very true. In a household where people used to come to drink, to dine, to wine, to all that, slowly, there are different kinds of people coming. Huh? And those who are on the spiritual path will vouchsafe for this, that only like-minded people gather together. The birds of the same feather flock together. वो spirituality की बात है. That you start associating with people who discuss similar things, who will want to uplift themselves just like you, who will want to go further in spiritual life just like you, and that helps your sadhana and goes. Now, Yoga Brashta, when he is born, he naturally, from childhood, loves peace, quietude. He likes simple things in life. He likes meditation. He likes to be self-controlled. He is self-giving, easily gives of things. He is not attached so much to things. This, you will notice the difference amongst children also. Children of the same family are different. The brother is very forgiving, very giving, very forgiving to a fault, easily forgives, and all that. And the sister or the other brother will be very different. They are grasping, wanting, and when the elder brother says, "Okay, I don't want this," okay, "Mujhe de do, give it to me. You don't want it, give it to me." That kind of mindset, is the same family, same two children, but one has a past. Each one, in fact, has a past carry over, and according to that carry over, one gets a noble philosophic bent of mind, the other gets a materialistic bent of mind. They choose, the fetus in the womb chooses his genes. You will be surprised. I saw a Discovery Channel film on this, really. That night I couldn't sleep because it was a late night show they did, and they were giving the history not only of the fetus in the womb, but of even two people, how they get attracted to each other to get married. This was really amazing. I was so shocked to see that film. That how come everyone is not attracted to everyone? No, even when a physical attraction takes place between two people, there is a past behind it. There is a huge past behind it because of which that happens, or of which two people have children together. So it is. Then the fetus in the womb also, every time a mind and intellect wants to take up a body, the fetus chooses its genes. He rejects and accepts. At least that is what that Discovery Channel thing was showing. That how a child is formed, how his mind and intellect is formed, how his body is formed is different from his brothers and sisters. Even his brothers and sisters. So can you imagine how different each individual is? It is all a result of your past. It is all a result of your past. Now, see, power, position, wealth cannot pull him away from his spiritual upliftment, from his spiritual journey. He gets all these things in life. Maybe he does because the yoga, the punya karma collection is so much that he gets all these things anyway. But he doesn't value those things because he values something higher than that. And he goes beyond Shabd Brahma. देखो, अब ये जो है शब्द ब्रह्म का जो है, it will come into the next thing, into your next 44. Dekho, come here, wait. So this we have done, and come here. Purvabhyasena tenaiva ह्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते. Look what it says. By that very form of practice, he is borne on in spite of himself. He gets a birth, whether he wants it or not, because certain vasanas, even if they are spiritual vasanas, even if they are spiritual vasanas, even if they are punyas that need to be exhausted, those he will have to live through. And therefore, he gets a body in spite of himself. It says, in spite of himself, even he who merely wishes to know yoga. Now, look at this promise. Nothing in any scripture I find so hopeful as the Geeta. It says, even he who merely wishes to know yoga goes beyond the Shabda Brahma. What is Shabda Brahma? Dekho, the Brahma cannot be described in words. Okay? Cannot be described in words. Yet, thousands of scriptural books in Hinduism are filled with the description of only one object, the ultimate reality, the Brahma, which Hinduism calls Brahma. So God is the subject of all reality, and yet they say God cannot be realized, God cannot be described. So that is why Shabda Brahma. That means the Brahma captured in words. Brahma captured in words is called Shabda Brahma, which translates into scriptures. That is why we worship the scriptures. We worship the scriptures. Don't we know? Geeta, people worship. Granth Sahib, people carry it on their heads. You know, how beautiful is that? It's beautiful. Bhagavad Puran, people carry on their heads when they bring it to the bring it for somebody to talk on. And all that. Quran is worshipped. Bible is worshipped. The Holy Bible. You know, they keep it in a very good place, very beautiful place. I have seen in Gurudwaras, you know, Granth Sahib ke liye AC lagaya hua hai. Once I reached a Gurudwara to pray there. So when I entered, there was this room and nobody was there. Only the Granth Sahib rakhe the और AC चल रहा था. So then I called the Granthi and the priest over there and I asked him, I said, आप AC किसके लिए चला रहे हैं? बोले, अरे ग्रंथ साहब के लिए, हमको क्या AC की जरूरत है? ग्रंथ साहब के लिए AC. Now ग्रंथ साहब is a book. It's a scripture. Do you see how much it is revered? Because it is about the Supreme. Gurudev used to say that scriptures are Brahman in a flesh form. That flesh form means tangible form, which you can touch and feel. Otherwise, how do you touch and feel the Lord? Now here he says that by that form of practice, he is born on in spite of himself. That means the mind and intellect equipment of such a human being automatically gets a birth where he can evolve further, right? Now, Jigya Surapi Yogasya Shabda Brahmati Vartate, he says, even he, देखो क्या ये कह रहे हैं, even he who merely wishes to know yoga, Jignasu, you know, one who wants to know, one who is curious to know. Jigyasura api yogasya, who wants to know yoga, who wants to know about yoga, even he goes beyond Shabda Brahma. Amazing, amazing. Because a yogi is one who has united with the higher. जीव ब्रह्म में जब भेद नहीं रह जाता, they become one. He is called a yogi. Now, when he has already become that, what is the use of the scriptures for him, which are describing that? He is that. He is already that. ठीक है ना? अच्छा, शब्द, the holy word is worshipped. Okay, देखो, Hinduism has Om. Om is a sound symbol of the Lord, Shabd. Brahma caught in Shabda. The Christians have the holy word. The Sikhs have the Ik Onkar. Huh? The Muslims also say Allahu Akbar. It is sound. It is sound. Kalma is a sound. Their prayers are sound, isn't it? Describing the Lord with sound alone. ठीक है ना? Buddhism, they have these chants which are all about the Supreme only. So that is the Shabd. But somebody who has become the Supreme, who has turned into the Supreme, not turned into in the sense that I was this and I become that, who realizes that he is only the Supreme. For him, the Shabd has got no meaning. The sound symbols have got no meaning at all in any way. Okay. अच्छा, then inquisitive, ये जो word है ना, जिज्ञासु. Jignasu are the one who inquisitively even come to listen to a satsang. कि देखें ये बोलते क्या हैं. Of being just inquisitiveness. They know nothing about anything, but they want to find out that what does the Gita say. Let me see what this man is trying to say. Oh, I have read the Gita. देखें ये क्या बोलते हैं. You know, this kind of inquisitiveness, very arrogant, but that is how people begin. A lot of people begin like that, huh? They come out of inquisitiveness, but they get sucked in automatically because of purva bhyas, this first word. Because of the purva bhyas of theirs, because of the collected knowledge in their past, which is lying dormant, is suddenly awakened by the teacher. And after that, it is no return. Gurudev used to say that spirituality is a one-way road. Once you enter onto it, you are hooked for life. There is no returning. आप जा ही नहीं सकते हैं वापस. You try. You will find everything meaningless. You will find, because you have tasted a higher joy. है ना? So by comparison, you keep discarding that which does not give you that higher joy. It does not give you that higher joy. Huh? So the spiritual past of yours overnight connects you to the next life. Overnight, you are connected with all the knowledge. And you wonder at yourself that what was I doing till now? How foolishly was I living my life till now? How could I be living like this? You know, so that kind of thing suddenly gets connected. So even a jignasu, he says, goes beyond, because the jignasu doesn't stop there. He doesn't stop there. So one sentence or one word from a teacher is enough if the man is evolved enough, if the human being is evolved enough. In one word or by one sentence of the teacher, he is suddenly transported. It's a bang. And you are totally a changed human being after that. You've heard the story of Guru Nanak, isn't it? With one word, he was counting. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. और जब 13 आया, with the word 13, he said, सब तेरा, मेरा क्या है, कुछ नहीं, सब तेरा और सब तू. And Guru Nanak became what he was. Sant Tukaram also. And there are stories of umpteen realized masters who are right at the doorstep. So all they want is a little push from the teacher and it's done. It's done. They are already standing at the door, waiting to enter. So then he goes beyond Brahma. Even an inquirer into meditation goes beyond Shabda Brahma. Now, a lot of people who are action oriented, they are into social service or puja. Puja means ritualistic puja that I'm talking about, or puja and karma. This is the story of most of us, that we think just do good deeds and do your regular puja every day and you are through with spirituality. You are done with spirituality. But Gurudev used to say, these only help you to purify your mind, but they will never take you further than that. देखो, all these are the brochure. They are not the place itself. You know brochures for traveling? They give it to you with all lovely pictures of the place and descriptions of the place, and you can stay in this hotel. It has such a beautiful view from here and this and that. That is the brochure. तो उसको देखने में और and going yourself to the place फर्क है ना. So there's a huge difference between the two. When you go through meditation, it is the place itself. The karma kand, ritualism, puja, or action, that is social service, helping the needy, helping poor people, that is all the brochure. Acha. The actual meditator is the one who arrives there. Okay, now come to the next verse. प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्ध किल्बिषः अनेक जन्म संसिद्ध ततो याति पराम गतिम. It says, but the yogi who strives with assiduity, purified from sins and perfected gradually through many births, then attains the highest goal. A lot of people get disappointed once they read this verse. They feel, oh, the Geeta clearly says that you have to slog on and slog on for many, many births. So people say, okay, then one can never attain it in this life. अभी तो millions of births हैं, तो फिर क्या होगा? So they are disappointed and they say that let's give it up. Now see, revolution happens overnight. Evolution takes years and years and years of effort. Revolution में क्या? Burn down things, kill people, plunder, loot, and the revolution takes place. You change the whole society by destruction. This is not by destruction. This is evolution. ठीक है ना? Now in evolution देखो क्या होता है. You are pure, but because of so many vasanas, you have muddied your purity. And that mud, once it is distilled from you, you were pure, you are pure, and you will become pure. Gurudev used to give the example of rain water. When the rains come, then the water is flowing downwards, and in its flow downwards, it gathers a lot of mud. Rain water is purest water distilled from heaven, but on its way, it collects dirt from the atmosphere, then it collects mud from the earth, and then it slowly goes down. So then you call it dirty water, don't you say this is dirty water? There is no such thing as dirty water. Think about it. Water is only pure water. Anything other than water, when it is mixed with water, makes it look dirty. When you remove the dirt from the water is again pure, isn't it? If you leave the Ganges alone, they say Ganges is dirty, Ganges is dirty. If you leave the Ganges alone and human beings do not throw filth into the Ganges, Ganges purifies itself. You do not need those big plants put up to purify the Ganges water. Ganges is pure and will become pure without your effort. Similarly, a human being, it says, ye dekho, it says, Sanshuddha Kilmisha. It says, you have to be purified of your sins. Sins are the ones, negativities in yourself, personality are the ones that have to leave your personality. And your personality is already pure. Once these leave, it will show up as pure. These days we show up as vulgar people full of negativities. Why? Because there is outside dirt imposed on the purity of the pure Brahma. It means that you have to make effort. You have to constantly make effort. That Gurudev used to say, assiduously make effort. And why? He used to say, even in easy things like growing fat, you have to labor on it. You have to eat continuously. You have to eat all the time. You have to eat in all situations. You have to go on overeating. Only then can you, with all that prayatna, you put on weight, isn't it? You become fat. तो वो तो कितना easy काम था, वो भी आपने कर लिया. वो तो आपने कर ही लिया. और daily you have to overeat, and then you finally succeed. You become a nice big fat person. Irreversible success, है ना? वापस जाना तो बहुत मुश्किल है. So he says, but imagine in evoluting to perfection, when you evolute to perfection, how much of prayatna is needed? So prayatna kitna karna hai? How much of effort is required? And continuous effort is required. That is why he says that the effort takes many lives. Okay. Now what is many lives? देखो एक बात ध्यान रखना, even meritorious desires which are formed out of doing punya, पुण्य के रिजल्ट भी भोगना है. एंड पुण्य ब्रीड्स मोर डिजायर टू डू मोर पुण्य. यू वांट टू डू मोर एंड मोर. जस्ट लाइक यू डू समथिंग बैड, देन वो उसकी हैबिट बनती जाती है. सिमिलरली व्हेन यू डू पुण्यस, व्हेन यू डू नोबल डीड्स, व्हेन यू डू समथिंग गुड फॉर अदर्स, उसकी भी हैबिट बनती है. See, so you are cultivating habits in your mind, and to exhaust that also you have to take a body, because you want to do more punya, and also you have to reap the results of good punya. Now that can also be obstructions to your growth. A man on the spiritual path has to give up any obstruction, good or bad. Nirmala. He has to become nirmala. Now, to exhaust the result of punyas, it is a cause and effect thing. You have to take birth for that also. Acha, now, anek janma sansiddha. When people hear of this anek janma sansiddha, ये जो है next line में, they say भैया हो गया, हमसे तो होगा नहीं, क्योंकि ये जन्म तो मैं तो होता नहीं है, जाने कितने जन्म में कोशिश करो, then you get it, so leave it. It no point, because you'll never reach. A yogi has evolved to this stature through many lives and many experiences and a lot of tapasyas. आप अपने आप को सोचो, were you always a human being? No, you were not. You know Darwin's theory, isn't it? From the unicellular organism, slowly you become something else, then slowly you evolve into something else, then slowly something else, isn't it? Or Darwin ko chhodi, Darwin has said it now. What about your Dashavatar? Dashavatar is nothing, Hindus ka, is nothing else but a story of evolution, of the human evolution. First is Matsya, है ना? Matsya is only in water because the whole world was mainly water bodies, and therefore the first were only water creatures. So the first avatar, they say Matsya. Next avatar is an amphibian who can be in water and who can also be on land, the Kurma. है ना? Kurma is the next avatar. Then Varaha. Varaha is animal who is only on land. Varaha is not into water. So Varaha is he may loll about in the water, but that's all. Otherwise, he is a land animal. So only then you become a land animal. Uske baad then Narasimha. Narasimha is what? Half animal, half man. We have picturized it as a half animal, half man, but it only means an animalistic man, isn't it? Even Darwin tells you the same thing. Animalistic man who only knows how to hunt, to kill, to tear people apart and eat. That. After that, Vaman, है ना? So a half bent small creature walking on two legs is the Vaman avatar. Then Parashuram. After that, he grows to the stature of a man, and a man who is powerful with a weapon and who can rule with a weapon and who rules over all other creatures with a weapon. Next avatar is Ram, hugely civilized, noble human being, a complete evolutionary avatar. उसके बाद कृष्णा, है ना? Krishna, where the intellect is mixture of the coming Kali also and also Treta Yuga. So Krishna, according to the times in which he was born, according to the times in which he took the avatar, he has to take that kind of form, right? So Krishna, then Buddha. Buddha was a king like any one of us, married with a child, and then he evolved from there. And the next avatar that is going to be will be Kalki, very, very destructive avatar. है very, very destructive avatar. How he will destroy, we have yet to see. So, what I'm trying to say is that the entire Dashavatar is a story of evolution given out much before Darwin, but of course, in a very picturesque way, giving you stories after stories so that you know you see it that way. तो आप ये देखिए कि ये जो है ना many many lives, this is not many, many human lives. It is lives that you have lived transcending species, transcending water creatures, amphibians, then transcending animals, then half animal, half man, animalistic man, this, that, and slowly evolving to the highly cultured man today. So think about it. You are at the acme of perfection. That is what all the scriptures tell you, that don't waste human life. Don't go back in evolution. There is a thing called devolution, where if you behave animalistically, you will go back. Why do you want to do that? You have got this human avatar with great, great difficulty. So you have been an animal man, then you have been a man, and slowly you are evolving. You have the opportunity to be a god man. And people who, like you, who are even listening to the Gita, mind you, not living it, even listening to the Gita, are very, very, very rare people, extremely rare people. One in a million you might be. Think about it. Think about it. How highly evolved are you, and how many lives you have already lived that you have come to listen to the Lord Himself giving you knowledge. Imagine. So don't despair. We are at the zenith of perfection. Zenith of perfection. Okay. So here, just some tapas is needed. Yeah. Just some tapas is needed, which we are not ready to do. Refuse to waste your time, huh? And refuse to waste your physical and and mental energies in doing things which will never perfect you, which will never bring you joy, which will never, they do not have it to give it to you. There is nothing in the world of OET, as Gurudev used to call it, objects, emotions, thoughts. Joy does not exist there. You project the joy there, and you think that if I get this, I'll be happy. In this relationship, I'll be happy. In these thoughts, I'll be happy. It is all your own projection. None of these things have happiness in them. That is the reason why each one runs after different objects. Because it is you who imagine the joy in that object. So, this is a necessary exercise you have to do for controlling the mind. That is called tapas. That means withdrawing yourself from all that will not give you permanent happiness, that will never give you permanent happiness. So, when you have that kind of discriminative mind, when you understand what you are doing, it is much higher than any social service. Meditation, controlling the mind, calming the mind, purifying the mind. These are exercises which are of a high grade mind athletics, mind gymnastic training. Doing social service is very easy. Very easy. Collect money from here, there, and everywhere and distribute it to people. Of course, good work, very good work. You are helping a lot of people. But that only serves to purify your mind and congratulate yourself. Many times it fattens the ego so much that such people are only looking for applause. So be very careful. What are you searching for in life? Because applause is also temporary. The people whom you help are very grateful to you. So it fattens your ego again. है ना? You notice that the great Mahatmas, if you say something to them which is complimentary, they immediately transfer it to the Lord. Gurudev used to say, redirect that letter to the Lord. It is none of your doing. It is He that is doing through you. He is using your body. Be grateful that He is using your body. So the Mahatmas just say Krishna, 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 Narayana, 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 if anybody compliments them, because they transfer that compliment immediately to the Lord. Because they know very well that they are not even capable of doing any of this. So this will purify the mind, and a good lot of effort will help in meditation if you do tapas. Okay, so let us do just this much today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.